Alright, so hi, I'm Morris Rosenthal for Fonerbooks.com Story Hour with Captain Marriott. This is our second Captain Marriott Story Hour in a row because I wanted to revisit this whole issue of 19th century printing technology and talk about a mistake I made. If you recall, these books that I'm reading from this old Captain Marriott series, which were printed in 1896, haven't been read before, so in many cases the pages are uncut. And here's an example, of course, of an uncut page. Now, I'm not very good at cutting pages. I have shaky hands, and I had been doing it the normal way, which is to slice up the center. But I discovered that using scissors, I can actually do a much nicer job if I simply cut along the edge, very close to the edge, take maybe a 32nd of an inch of the book page off, maybe closer to a 16th. But the result is I end up with a very clear cut, very nice, very even, and I think the book pages will actually hold up much longer this way than if I had cut them and gotten the occasional little rip or tear in. The other thing that I noticed is last time I had counted the pages between uncut pages in this book, I thought there were 5. And that led me to believe maybe it was 10-up printing. What do I know about 120 years ago printers? But it turns out when I counted again in this book that there are 2 uncut pages, 4 sheets, followed by 4 cut sheets. And that's what you would expect with regular 8-up printing. And I wanted to prove this to myself that it worked. And you can do that with a piece of paper. Here I'll take a book magazine that I have laying around. And you might ask, why are you punishing Book Business Magazine? I'm not setting out to punish them, but they haven't given me a press pass to this year's conference, so maybe I should. In any case, you just fold the sheet up into half, and then over again on the next greatest page size. So we fold it into 4, and then one more time. This is an origami. And you now have 8 sheets. I'll unfold it just so we can sort of see the fold lines. You have 8 sheets of paper, book pages, that would have been printed up there. And you see something that actually looks a little like a book here. This would be, the binding gets sewn up here. This would be called a signature, and a bunch of these would be put in a binding to make the book. And if you look at the ends here, you'll find that we have 4 cut sheets and 2 uncuts. The top, of course, which we'll cut off separately here with the scissors. So now we have a book that we can actually open there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 2 uncut. This is what, on these books, the top is sanded down, cut and sanded down, and then painted gold, and you'll find that on a lot of older books. Now, the reason I wanted to revisit this is next week I'm hoping to get to the O'Reilly Tools of Change conference in Manhattan. And in this case, I caught my own mistake. Nobody has pointed it out to me yet. But you have to keep your mind open about learning new things. Just because I'm not obsessed with old printing technology doesn't mean I shouldn't correct a mistake that I make in attempting to describe it or figure it out for myself. So I'll be going to this Tools of Change, hopefully. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people there that I don't agree with, particularly amongst the speakers as opposed to the publishers, because oftentimes speakers are consultants or social bloggers, and they have their own very strong point of views that they maintain for rather specific reasons. And when I've gone to conferences in the past, I've tended to just argue with people. But I'm hoping this time, since O'Reilly is giving me a press pass, that'll make me a little more gracious, and I'll just try to keep a curb on my tongue, at least not ask questions when I'm sitting in these sessions, and let the paying customers carry the load there. So I'm Morris Rosenthal for Foner Books, and I just want to remind you, it's never too late to learn something new.